In the gaming community, World of Warcraft has garnered a massive global player base over the years. Recognizing the desire for alternatives with similar mechanics, our selected list features games that, while sharing some similarities with WoW, also bring unique elements to the table, offering players potential worthy replacements for their immersive gaming experiences. Guild Wars 2, while maintaining some of World of Warcraft's core elements, introduces distinct features that could captivate WoW veterans exploring a new realm. Notably, Guild Wars 2 diverges with unique classes, turned professions such as a ghost with powers from past heroes, an elementalist combining elemental shaman and magician traits, and an illusionist employing illusions for damage in group portals. Additionally, Guild Wars 2 eschews the conventional talent system, replacing it with a dynamic set of abilities tied to the character's weapon, including healing, secondary, and elite skills, while the game's guild functionality surpasses WoW with broader features like guild leveling, special missions, and diverse bonuses. The Elder Scrolls Online. Fans of the Elder Scrolls series have long dreamed of an online version of their favorite game, especially after Skyrim became wildly popular. And so, in 2014, Scrolls fans got what they wanted. So the events in which the player has to take part unfold about 1,000 years before the last part. In the Elder Scrolls Online, they worked well on the plot, so the lines of quests are quite interesting and varied. Almost the entire world can be explored. Even through seemingly impenetrable mountains, it is possible to find a way, and NPCs that give interesting side quests are sometimes found in the most unexpected and hard-to-reach places. The combat in the online version is practically no different from the other parts of the series, so it will not be difficult for fans of Skyrim to understand it. Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. The first incarnation of FF14, released in 2010, turned out, frankly, so-so. But Square Enix knows how to work on mistakes, so the total revision of the project called A Realm Reborn, released in 2013, can already compete on equal terms with the titans of the genre. There are 8 game races to choose from, including almost classic humans and elves, as well as unique types such as the dragon-like Aura, the warlike Vaira Amazons with cute rabbit ears, and the brutal Hrothgar, who combine the traits of humans and lions. The peculiarity of the game is that the class of your charm depends on the equipped weapon and can be changed at any time. Although FF14 and WoW do not have much in common, many fans of the latter go to Final Fantasy XIV for variety and new impressions. Neverwinter Online. Before its release, there were concerns that Neverwinter by Perfect World would be overly simplistic, but instead it emerged as a strong competitor in the market, offering engaging gameplay with features distinct from World of Warcraft. Key differences include its non-target combat system, companion rewards for quest completion, a complex crafting system, unlimited profession choices, and the unique feature of playing and creating player-generated quests. It cannot be said that Lord of the Rings Online can compete with WoW, but the game finds many fans after all. It is still the only multiplayer project in Tolkien's universe. True fans will be delighted. The developers studied all the books of the professor's pen to achieve maximum accuracy and full immersion in the amazing world he created. And while traveling through Middle-earth, you can even accidentally meet the Fellowship of the Ring and feel yourself involved in epic events. The graphics, of course, leave much to be desired, but do not forget that the game is already many years old. At the same time, the locations are drawn to the smallest detail and exactly correspond to Tolkien's descriptions. In Rooms of Magic, players initially encounter familiar elements similar to World of Warcraft, such as training quests and a standard grind, but with distinct graphics. The game introduces unique features like mandatory daily tasks, a talent point system for skill leveling without development branches, and an innovative dual-class system allowing players to develop and switch between 2 classes, combining their benefits. NCSoft's Aion is a Korean MMORPG known for its cute, bright, and colorful aesthetic, featuring large weapons and notably attractive female characters. The game is set in a world divided into two realms, the beautiful and friendly land of the Ilians, and the dark and grim territory of the Asmodeans, separated by the abyss inhabited by the Balor, a non-player race tasked with maintaining balance. Players can choose from 7 classes with 2 development paths available at level 10, gain wings for easier mobility, participate in PvP battles from level 25, and extensively customize their characters' appearances with a detailed editor. Following its release, Star Wars: The Old Republic faced criticism for seemingly copying elements from World of Warcraft. Yet these features are typical of the MMORPG genres, such as dungeons, raids, and PvP arenas. However, The Old Republic distinguishes itself with its heavy emphasis on storyline, offering 8 engaging narratives with professionally voiced characters and expressive facial animations, unlike WoW, where quests can often be bypassed with add-ons. Additionally, The Old Republic enhances player immersion by making dialogue choices dependent on personal history, class, and alignment with the light or dark side of the Force, making it a must-play for fans of the Star Wars saga. Released in 2011, the MMORPG Rift closely mirrors World of Warcraft in terms of style, mechanics, and to some extent graphics, with its story set on the planet Tera. Instead of WoW's Horde and Alliance, Rift features 2 factions: the Apostate, who combine magic with technology, and the Guardians, who develop technologies and utilize steampunk mechanisms, both aiming to protect their world from dark forces. Character leveling in Rift follows a classic MMORPG format, involving quest completion and monster slaying for experience and skill upgrades, alongside the necessity to enhance equipment, allowing for unique character customization. Black Desert. In its time, BDO appeared on the crest of a wave of a new generation of MMORPGs. It was notable for the fact that it differed from the majority with a polished combat system with combo techniques, a detailed character editor, and a realistically drawn world. In it, you can equip caravans and buy houses, hire workers, and tame wild horses. The game was head and shoulders ahead of its competitors in terms of innovations, and Pearl Abyss, creating it, was by no means the brainchild of Blizzard. However, it was BDO, with its medieval fantasy setting, witchcraft, and huge monsters, that became a very worthy alternative to WoW, and remains so to this day. ArchAge. After 9 years of fighting against terrible forces that endlessly threatened the well-being of Azeroth, many of us were eagerly awaiting the release of this game. ArchAge promised us freedom of action in a world developed by players, a house with its own garden, seafaring and guild wars with sieges, and also open PvP, which pirate and aggressive communities did not fail to take advantage of. Despite striking visual differences and a completely different concept of the world, this gang is united by the same division into 2 warring alliances, as in the Blizzard gang, scattered on different continents. In it, the combat system and class development is determined by the talents to choose from, and also in ArchAge, a fantasy setting with elves and magic. Blade and Soul, a very oriental game with a characteristic glossy drawing and a completely unique combat system, due to which BNS is more like a fighting game than a role-playing multiplayer game in its usual presentation. It is the fighting woman, and not the long-legged beauties, that is the most attractive feature of the project, and it also makes BNS fundamentally different from games like World of Warcraft. At the same time, players fed up with classic MMORPGs often went for new sensations in BNS, since it was she like WoW in her time that diluted the stagnant genre with novelty, dynamism, unusual classes, and no less unusual races. Tera was one of the first to offer MMO fans a non-target combat system, and let them travel through a colorful world with a very low entry threshold. At that time, Korean games were not distinguished by their friendliness to newcomers. For magnificent landscapes and interesting gameplay, even corridors made of invisible walls, which looked wild in the era of seamless MMORPGs, were forgiven. If we draw parallels with WoW, it can be noted that both games differ from most others in their unusually cozy atmosphere. Mastering Tera is pleasant and easy, exploring the world is interesting, and the chosen class feels very good in both PvP and PvE activities. Crimson Desert, a new Pearl Abyss project with cinematic graphics and gameplay that inherits the best features of their previous MMORPG. Events will unfold on the northern continent and plunge players into internecine wars of local peoples. Today, this is the most large-scale work of the South Korean game industry, and it is quite possible that it, as BDO succeeded in its time, will lure thousands of players from other multiplayer games, including World of Warcraft, into its world. Ashes of Creation, a project stuck in development with a claim to a role-playing game of a new generation. The embodiment of a seamless world, excellent graphics, and a narrative that depends on the actions of the players in Ashes of Creation promise to please the old-timers of MMORPG with a pleasant novelty, while most of the game mechanics, on the contrary, will remind them of traditional games of the genres, such as World of Warcraft. New World. Perhaps this is the most anticipated multiplayer open-world sandbox game, in which players will become colonizers of a new world inhabited by mysterious creatures and join one of 3 warring factions. A huge and very beautiful world awaits travelers, supported by Amazon Web Service technology, an unusual class system, and an abyss of interesting activities. If some new MMORPG is able to breathe new life into the faded genre, as World of Warcraft once did, then it is New World.
And Eternum is me.
If your favorite game is not included in this list, write in the comments. Thank you for watching. Please read the description for more details. If you enjoyed the video, please support the channel with a super thanks, thumb up, subscribe, and turn on notifications to watch more.